So I just heard some news today about Hannah Kobayashi. If you don't know about this case, listen to this.
Where is Hannah Kobayashi, the 30-year-old woman from Hawaii who went missing 15 days ago on her way to visiting her aunt in New York? Here's what we know. It was on Friday, November 8th, Hannah flew from Maui to Los Angeles and missed her connecting flight to New York. Saturday, November 9th, Hannah was seen at the Grove Shopping Mall. It's a popular mall in downtown LA where she went to a bookstore to charge her phone. Sunday, November 10th, Hannah went back to the Grove and was seen in the background of a video attending a LeBron James event. Then on Monday, the 11th, Hannah went back to the airport. And at some point, she sent some very concerning texts. She was saying that she was scared and had been tricked, quote, into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved. That same night, Hannah was reportedly seen leaving the airport with an unidentified person. But later that night, surveillance video, which has not been released, shows Hannah at a train station also with an unidentified person. I spoke to Hannah's aunt a few days ago about the video. Take a listen.
There's no reason that Hannah would go there unless she was misled, unless she was forced to, or unfortunately now we're thinking unless she was drugged. But it made us extremely alarmed to the point where we started sounding the alarm as loud as we could.
What, after seeing the video, you mean?
Yes.
It's already such a sad situation, and now there's another twist to the story. Hannah's father, Ryan, who had gone to LA to search for his daughter, has taken his life. He was actually supposed to be on with me too and was feeling emotional, and now we find out that he has committed.
Hannah allegedly went missing when she was flying from Miami to New York with a connecting flight in LAX. And her family came out and said that it was confirmed, their worst fear was confirmed, that she was being trafficked, she was in trouble, she was seen with an unknown man, and she did not look well, like she was drugged or something like that. It went viral. All YouTubers hit the keyboards. The LAPD has been working their butt off. Everybody who knew about this case was worried. They investigated, they asked questions, and then after about 3 weeks, it turns out that Hannah, she was never missing at all. And that's really good news. The police came out in a press conference and said that they saw Hannah on video footage on November 12th at 12:13 p.m. She was walking through a tunnel crossing the Mexican border. She was by herself, she looked well, she looked healthy, and there was no problems at all. Hannah Kobayashi is not missing.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today with us. I'm joined here today by Assistant Chief Chow, Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton, and Lieutenant Oldfield from our Missing Persons Unit. I wanted to provide you an update on the ongoing search for 30-year-old Hannah Kobayashi, who was reported missing last month. As the family is aware, late yesterday, after traveling to the U.S.-Mexico border, we reviewed video surveillance from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, which clearly shows Kobayashi crossing the United States border on foot into Mexico. She was alone with her luggage and appeared unharmed. At this time, Kobayashi's case has been classified as a voluntary missing person. I know over the last few days there have been several questions raised surrounding her flight to New York. Our investigation, corroborated by video evidence, clearly shows Hannah at LAX appearing unharmed after arriving from Maui on November 8th of this year. For unknown reasons, she decided not to board her pre-scheduled flight to New York that same day. From November 8th to 11th, video footage and still imagery showed Hannah at various locations around Los Angeles. This information was subsequently verified by LAPD detectives. While she did check her bag through to New York, she requested her bag be sent to her at LAX, where we have surveillance footage of her retrieving it from the baggage carousel on November 11th. LAPD Missing Persons Unit has conducted extensive witness interviews, reviewed video surveillance, and collaborated with local and federal law enforcement agencies on this case. To date, the investigation has not uncovered any evidence that Kobayashi is being trafficked or is the victim of foul play. She is also not a suspect in any criminal activity. Additionally, the investigators noted that before departing Maui, Kobayashi expressed the desire to step away from modern connectivity. Our priority is ensuring Ms. Kobayashi's safety and well-being, and we urge Ms. Kobayashi to contact her family, law enforcement, or personnel at the U.S. Embassy to let us know that she is safe. She has a right to her privacy, and we respect her choices, but we also understand that the concern her loved ones feel for her. A simple message could reassure those who care about her. While the LAPD investigation will not continue into Mexico, if anyone has credible information about Hannah's whereabouts, please contact local law enforcement. If Kobayashi returns to the United States, law enforcement will be notified. The missing person case will remain active in the missing and unidentified system until her safety is confirmed by law enforcement. Anyone with additional information regarding this case may contact the Los Angeles Police Department at 877-LAPD-24-7 or 877-527-3247. Anonymous tips can also be submitted to Los Angeles Regional Crime Stoppers at www.lacrimestoppers.org. Let me open it up now if you have any questions. If I cannot answer them, if the detail is such, I will refer it to one of my partners here. I'm sorry, say that again. At this point, we have not been able to determine any crime has been committed.
Chief, given that there's no reason then for the law enforcement agency to detain or arrest her at all,
That's correct.
is there any indication from her family that there were arguments, disagreements, problems prior to her leaving Hawaii during the period of the month where she was sort of staying outside?
Yeah, I mean, it's no indication that there would be anything to cause this to happen in this fashion, for her to go off. But like any family situation, you know, who knows what the dynamics are. Yeah, let me address that to Lieutenant Oldfield, if you would.
Tell us your first and last name.
Douglas Oldfield, D-O-U-G-L-A-S, last name Oldfield, O-L-D-F-I-E-L-D. I'm the officer in charge of the Special Enforcement Section out of Detective Support and Vice Division, which handles the missing person unit. Right. So for the question of whether she wanted to disconnect, by looking at her past social media, we then saw indications that there were some desires or posts that would be consistent in somebody who would have the desire to disconnect from their phone. I think it's not something that I have available right now. It's just that was part of the investigation. Are we 100% right on that? We can't say, right? We just know that she did not have her phone after she left LAX, right? Around 1800 to 1900. We know she doesn't have her phone on her. For what reason? We can't say for sure. Yes. So she traveled through the MTA. She then made it to Union Station. At Union Station, she used her passport and cash to purchase a ticket to get to the border, and she then crossed the border. Yes. She appeared fine. She was with nobody else. I have nothing additional, but I have observed the video, yes.
Alan Hamilton, I'm the Chief of Detectives for the LAPD. We understand that there are concerns on behalf of family and friends. We've been very transparent with the family to this point. We have had daily communication and contact with family members, and we've given all the information that we can provide in terms of what our investigation has entailed, what the efforts have been on behalf of the LAPD and other partner law enforcement agencies. We've put a lot of resources into this investigation. So just to be clear to the public, the LAPD has taken this report seriously from the moment that we received it, and we have expended a lot of resources to include a trip this past weekend to the U.S.-Mexico border to collaborate with our partners there. So this is an investigation where we've done a lot of things face-to-face with our partners, and we've done gone to extraordinary measures in terms of our technological investigations in this case. We've really left no stone unturned, and it's led us to this conclusion and the information that the chief is providing today.
Alan, I don't know if you were is there anything in the information you gained from previous messages, things like that, which mentioned a person or something that might put the sister in disconnected from society? Is this an individual desire, or does she express some kind of a knowledge or an awareness of a certain type of pattern of social organization that she might want to join somewhere in Mexico?
Generalized individual desire, we have no information that she's working with anyone else.
Tremendous amount of manpower, yeah. Yeah, a lot of personnel involved in any major investigation like this in order to try and protect those that are in many cases very vulnerable. My ask would be to anybody considering doing this, think about the people that you're leaving behind, your loved ones who are going to be worried sick about you, the number of people, including law enforcement and other partners who are going to be looking for you, which then potentially takes them away from other work that is also critically important. So there's a lot other than somebody just deciding that they want to leave and disconnect. Consider those that are behind you and those that will be impacted by your actions. Absolutely. Right. Right. I'm very sorry to the family for all that they've been through throughout this ordeal. We're very sorry for their loss, and I don't know that words can express, the feelings that they're going through during this very difficult time. But there's a lot of people very much in support of what they're going through.
As a chief, this is back on the family. They have the normal case themselves.
Yeah, I mean we've basically done everything we can do at this point. She's left the nation, left the country, and in another nation now. So, as I mentioned in the earlier comments, that if she comes back into the U.S., law enforcement will be notified of that, and try and do whatever we can if there's a need to at that time.
Mexican authorities, though, have a certain degree of latitude way beyond forces here in the United States. Have you advised them of the situation, felt that as much as you can, like they decide to take action on whatever that decides?
Yeah, I haven't had any interaction. I don't know if no, nothing. No. Yep.
November 12th at 12:13 p.m. She walked through the tunnel that leads to Mexico. Yeah, she walked through the San Ysidro port of entry, and she walked through the tunnel that leads to Mexico, and that was at 12:13 on the 12th. 12:13 p.m. So we can't speak to her state of mind. We are aware there have been some communications prior. We are aware of that communication, and we cannot necessarily interpret. I think some of the communication can be interpreted a number of different ways. So at this time, we're not able to interpret those communications without having Hannah present to explain, how she felt when she sent them and what the specific meanings were for those messages. So the question was about the individual that she was identified traveling with on the metro. We have identified that individual. That individual was cooperative in the investigation. That individual cooperated by allowing himself to be interviewed with his attorney present and family members. He gave a full disclosure of the entire sequence of events. We utilized independent investigative techniques to verify his story, and it fully checked out. They met at LAX. Right? Thank you.
But do you know the feeling where you still have a million questions? Because I'm like, there's still so many things in this case that doesn't make sense. Was it all just a hoax? And then you think, but how could that be possible? Because Ryan Kobayashi, her father, he lost his life. He unalived himself because his heart was broken, because his daughter was missing, and he was told that his daughter most likely was being trafficked. It completely destroyed him, so he allegedly unalived himself by jumping off a 7-story building. For what? For what? He lost his life because of nothing. This case is very tragic, and I feel like the only victim in this case is Ryan. And there's still things to me that doesn't make sense at all, because the aunt came out and said that their worst fear had been confirmed. She was taken against her will. She was in some kind of trafficking. She was spotted with an unknown male, and she didn't look well. She looked like really bad. But now it turns out that the police, they identified this male. They spoke to him, they interviewed him, and he is completely cleared. There's no problems with this guy. So what exactly did the family see on the footage that made them think that Hannah was being kidnapped, held against her will, and being trafficked? I really want to know that, because according to the police, there was nothing wrong with this guy. And what about all the text messages? I'm scared, I don't feel safe, my identity was stolen, I got tricked into giving up all my funds. Where did those messages come from? Was it fake? Was it Hannah's attempt to escape her own family? And if so, why? Or was it because she wanted attention? It's very, very strange, because do you know the feeling? Because I'm like this. I know that none of us, we know the Kobayashi family. But I'm the kind of person, if I'm lied to, if people keep secrets from me about something this serious, if there's something sketchy and the truth comes out and nothing makes sense, I'm having a very hard time believing any words coming out of their mouth, because I start thinking if all those text messages, if they were fake. Because why would Hannah plan a trip to go see her aunt in New York if she was not going? Why would she pay $2,000 for a hotel room that she was not gonna use? I think it's strange. And she said she got tricked to give up all her funds to someone she thought that she loved. My first thought was her ex-boyfriend. Definitely, because if she already knew and she already made plans in Los Angeles, why would she check in her bag all the way to New York just to have someone send it back to her? And then people were talking about she got drugged in the airport. Maybe she touched some kind of paper with substances on it. You heard about that before. I actually just saw a video on TikTok with a woman who was in LAX with her husband. And they were approached by a psychic. And it was really weird. Look at this.
Hi, amigos. Okay, you guys, I have a crazy story time that is leaving me feeling a little unsettled right now. So, have you guys heard of this case that has gone on in Los Angeles about a girl named Hannah and she went missing from LAX? If so, stick around and hear my story time and tell me what you guys think. So back in September, you guys know my husband and I went to for TikTok. This was my first time leaving the country as well as my husband, so we've never been to LAX or flown international. So we get there and we decide, let's exchange our money for Chinese currency. We do all our stuff, we go to the front and go exchange our money. While we're exchanging our money, this guy taps my shoulder and my husband's standing next to me. Mind you, I said this is our first time. We aren't holding hands, we're not lovey-dovey, we're stressed. So this male taps my shoulders and he hands me a note and I say, "Oh, thank you." I don't know why I thought maybe I had dropped money on the floor. I dropped my passport. I'm telling you guys, I'm stressed. It's my first time. He then proceeds to ask me, "Where are you headed to?" And my husband finally sees that this guy's talking to me and he hears what he says and he's like, "And what does that matter to you?" I don't think the guy realized that I am traveling with my husband. As I told you guys, we are standing far apart. We don't even look like we're a couple. The guy gets mad that my husband speaks for me, I guess. And he literally is like, "What? You have to speak up for her? Who are you?" My husband's like, "The fuck?" Like, my husband's about to turn up. And I'm like, "We're in LAX. You cannot." Like, come on, babe. Let's just go. And we start walking. As we're walking, I open up that note and I literally stop Xavier. I'm like, "Xavier." He's like, "What? Why are you touching that? What? Give me." And you see it? The note says something, I forgot, but it says something along the lines of, "Meet me here at this time, you will be paid," something like that. It says something about being a psychic, and then the craziest part is it says my husband's name. My husband's name is Xavier, not so common. It literally says "Free Xavier," hashtag "Free Xavier." I'm like, what the hell is this? We both like freak out a little bit. We're like, what the heck? But my husband's like, "This is stupid," and he throws it away. I'm all in my head after that, and I'm like, what if that piece of paper had or something on it? He's like, "No, don't say that." Because you guys know people really do human trafficking, especially in the airports and stuff like that. Me and Xavier are sitting down, and I'm pretty sure it was in our anxiety as time progresses, but I start feeling really sick. And I'm like, "Xavier, I don't feel good." He's like, "That's weird. I don't feel good either." We both start panicking each other out. And I'm like, "Let's call your sister. Like, I'm scared. What if that guy tried to like hurt me because he thought I was alone and now we both touched the paper?" And like, I just made this whole scenario in my head because I get really scared traveling. His sister was like, "You guys need to calm down. I think you guys are okay. Maybe you guys should tell somebody board our flight any second." Like, so we just calmed down. We ended up feeling okay, but it was such a scary moment. Circling back to this girl, Hannah, that is missing. She was in Terminal 3 in LAX. I haven't followed up with the story, but I feel sick to my stomach because I can imagine, what if the same person targeted her? What if this is a case of human trafficking? She was traveling alone, maybe. I think she was traveling alone. Like, if I didn't have my husband, I get awkward in situations like that. Like, to try to shoo him off, but like, you don't want to be rude. I just saw a TikTok that said she sent a Venmo from her account before she went missing that said psychic. I literally just feel sick to my stomach tonight, and I am sending her family prayers. If anybody has any updates, please keep me updated. I am definitely going to do some more research, but I just pray that she's found safely and returned to her family. On another note, ladies, you guys have to be so safe when you guys are traveling by yourself. You guys we have to be aware of our surroundings. It's just a sad time that we live in.
And I'm also thinking, this was Hannah's father. Her father Why didn't she come out at any point or tell anyone that she was okay? She just didn't want to be a part of anything. She just signed out of the family. She didn't want to have anything to do with anyone. If she had done that, Ryan would still be alive. Her father unalived himself from a broken heart. I can't believe this is happening. It's very, very scary, disturbing, and I just saw JLR Investigates yesterday with JLR and Magnolia, and they said that the family, they actually received about $50,000 from GoFundMe. They never put out a reward for information leading to finding Hannah. $50,000, and they didn't put up a reward. Why? And they also said that the family, they have not been in Los Angeles the last week. They went back home. And I don't mean anything bad. I don't mean any disrespect whatsoever. But you just can't help thinking if it was all a hoax to make money. Because right now, I'm thinking, where's the $50,000? Hannah is not missing. They did say that the missing case files is going to remain open until they make contact with Hannah. But everything in the case shows that Hannah, she's fine. She was traveling by herself. She crossed the border to Mexico. She's fine. And also in the text messages, it said that she was being tricked into giving up all her funds, making it sound like she didn't have any money at all. Then how the heck did she go all the way to Mexico? And how is she gonna live there if she doesn't have any money? It doesn't make sense. And how would she cross the border and go anywhere if her identity was stolen? It's just, I have never, ever worked on a case that's so confusing as this one. I didn't make a prior video about this case because I'm really, really busy on another case. But I've been following it very closely, and you just felt like 1 second you were like, oh my God, what's happening to her? I was watching live videos from Skid Row in Los Angeles for hours, hoping that I would see Hannah or her backpack or something, just something. I also watched video footage from the airport hoping to see her. I think we all did. And there's a lot of great YouTubers out there that does a lot of investigations. They spent weeks of investigating. All their subscribers, their followers, they have been helping them trying to solve this case and bring Hannah home safely. I don't think Hannah has a clue about what she started. I have to believe that, because if she knew what she started, and she has been watching everything online, that the whole world is searching for her, her family is worried sick, her father unalived himself, how can she just ignore that? Her face was everywhere. There must have been some people who recognized her and said, do something or say something. Just tell someone that you're okay. I don't know, what do you think? Isn't it crazy? And I actually did start working a bit on a video, and I was looking at the Bohemian Grove by the redwoods, looking at sacrifices in the woods and hooded men with torches. It was freaking scary, and I was really worried as well, because I was like, she said she really wanted to go to the redwoods, and the Bohemian Grove is only a 15-minute drive from the redwoods. And I saw another YouTuber that went to that town where the Bohemian Grove is. Nobody wanted to talk about this so-called cult in the woods. It was like they were scared, and I was really worried. I was like, oh my God, what if Hannah is stuck there, or she's being held against her will by this cult or whatever it is.
That's me sneaking inside Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I'm cooked. I gotta run.
An invite-only secret society of American elites who gather in the woods 2 weeks out of every year to decide the future of the world and conduct human sacrifice rituals in front of a 40-foot owl god named Moloch. Or so the rumors say. Many have begun wondering what actually goes down here after famous boxer Ryan Garcia said this.
The babies, guys, babies! They're eating babies, literally! And I'm the crazy one!
So they're in with these bankers and former presidents,
Yes.
and some guy brings over something that it's an effigy that's supposed to be a body,
Yeah.
and then they drop it on the fire, and they're all worshiping an owl god.
But before I sneak into the grove, what do the locals nearby know? Right in front of me, we got the hoot owl. You guys know what the owl is?
Well, yeah, that's. No.
Oh, no? Oh, we're just walking around and talking. I thought you saw it. We can walk away, though. We're just trying to learn what's going on with the owl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't know?
The locals were immediately on guard. You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I worked there before you left.
You worked there? Whoa, what did you see?
A lot of things that I cannot talk about.
Actually?
Yeah,
Could you give us, theoretically, what might you have seen if someone were to work there?
I cannot talk about that.
You sign a document?
Nope, that I cannot talk about.
Partake in anything?
Have a wonderful day, sir.
Okay, wow.
Be careful, okay?
Be careful? Do you think we're dealing with things that are much more powerful than...
Well, I can say
What did he see? You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I used to work there like 10, 15 years ago. Oh, I don't want to be on camera.
Oh,
You know they planned the bombing for Hiroshima and Nagasaki there?
what was that?
Never mind.
Everyone here knew something about the Grove until they saw my little camera.
It's probably not a good place to be going unless you know what you're doing.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of rich, crazy people up there.
You're trying to get in?
My father was in.
Oh, he was in the club?
Yeah,
Who was he?
he's a Mason,
Oh, he was a Mason.
39th.
Did you inherit his will? His Freemason will?
I can't disclose that.
Okay. Is there anything we should know?
Probably not. Probably you won't mess with it.
Okay.
No, I'm done here.
Alright. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate you. That's it. What would happen?
I don't know.
You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I know lots about the Bohemian Grove.
Would you like to share?
No,
Is there some darkness to it?
don't fail me. Hit the road.
Okay.
It is clear we were meant to be here. Be in this moment. We are friends. What is real that men can see and know? And what is real and what is fantasy? Perhaps I now have two ways. One is skepticism. Right. When men pretend, bewildered, lost, blind, to survive or fall, scarce knowing the men to control. This is the world of dead. The unreality exists as a spark in each man's heart, glowing ever brighter by adventures given and received.
so many people were worried about Hannah, and she just ignored everyone. If she knew what was happening and how many people were looking for her, the whole internet was just buzzing because everybody wanted to find Hannah. Do you think Hannah knew that half the world was searching for her? And do you think she knew that her father unalived himself? Do you think she knew that there was missing person flyers put up everywhere by friends and family, and she just ignored everything? Or do you think she's completely clueless and has no idea what's going on? It's hard to say, but I find it very hard to believe that she didn't know. And then another thing is, I looked up Hannah on Instagram and saw all her pictures. And there has been zero activity in her social media accounts. But then I found a new account on Instagram. And the profile picture was the latest picture that Hannah uploaded to her Instagram. So I'm thinking this is a completely new profile, and I'm pretty sure it's Hannah. So she has been active online. So how is it possible that she didn't see her face and her name posted everywhere? I'm just saying. But unfortunately, I think this is gonna be one of those cases where the family just disappears. I don't think we're gonna get any more explanations. I don't think we're gonna hear anything from Hannah. I think this is one of those cases that's just swept under the rug and nobody ever hears anything or talks about it again. Because now we know she's not in danger. She left on her own free will. She didn't want to be a part of the family anymore. She didn't want to go home. She just wanted to go on her own. And she has every right to do that. I just feel so heartbroken that it cost Ryan his life. And another thing I also noticed is that when she was spotted outside the Grove at the Nike event, she was perfectly fine. She didn't look drugged. She didn't look stressed. She seemed completely fine, and she was walking around with headphones on. And I was like, if you're meeting someone there, you're not wearing headphones, because first of all, if someone calls out to you, Hannah, I'm over here, stop, wait for me, something like that, you can't hear them because you're wearing headphones. And another thing is, if the person would text you or call you and ask, are you here yet? When are you coming? Blah, 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 like that, you wouldn't be able to hear your phone either. So I don't believe she was meeting anyone. She was just sightseeing in Los Angeles. She was never in danger. I don't believe that. I feel this is just complete BS, and it's not funny, and it's not okay. It cost a very good man his life. I read a lot of things about Ryan Kobayashi, and everybody said that he loved his children. Maybe he was closer to some of the kids than other kids, but he was a good, loving man. And this, whatever it is, cost him his life. He is never coming back. He was destroyed. He didn't sleep. He didn't eat. His heart was completely broken because he got the impression that his daughter was being trafficked. It destroyed him, and he couldn't take it, so he decided to unalive himself. And for what? For what? For nothing, because Hannah is perfectly fine. I don't know if I should be sad or I should be angry. This case is so frustrating. It's very frustrating because Ryan didn't have to lose his life. If she would just have been honest from the beginning, saying, I need my space. I need a time out. I need to go by myself. Just leave me alone. Please respect it and leave me alone. none of this would have happened. None of it. And Ryan, he would still be alive. So that's it for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know in the comment section down below what you think. And until the next one, take care and stay safe. Bye.